Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 62 of Swiss Army Sports. Today is May 14th in the Big 26. I'm your host, Will Spain, former longstopper for the Troy Trojans, Osprey Governors, and partially Houston Kickers, joined by my side, former offensive lineman for the Hendrix College Warriors, current man of electricity, Luke the Nuke Wallman, and joined virtually from H-Town in Houston, Texas, former kicker for the Houston Christian Huskies and Troy Trojans, current nephew of the Georgia Tech men's basketball coach Scott Cross, and Georgia Tech NBA candidate Chase Cross. Shout out you, Chaser, for getting into
Appreciate
GT,
it, man.
baby. That is awesome.
You got in?
Hey, he got in. He's going, moving to Atlanta, back down here to the dirty South. Get out of all that Texas bull crap and get back to where the land is fine and so are the women. So, today's agenda. College baseball picks of the week, boys. To say it's a pivotal week and would be an understatement. It's the final week. Anyone technically can win. I'm pretty sure anyone technically could lose.
And that scares me.
That's terrifying for me and Luke especially.
I'm not doing 18
would be pretty rough. NHL playoff looking along with the NBA. Got NASCAR All-Star Weekend just for the Cup Series, though. NASCAR All-Star picks at Dover. All three series are racing. PGA Championship picks and preview. The boys put their picks in this morning. I honestly don't know what the leaderboard looks like. So we will take a peek at that when we're going over it and see how we're doing so far. MLB Power Rankings for, I guess, the previous week and up to this week. We have a interesting MMA card this weekend put on by Most Valuable Promotions. Ronda Rousey versus Carano picks and preview. FA Cup final picks with Chase Talks Footy segment of the podcast. Swiss Army 5, top 5 TV sitcoms, non-animated. Because when I looked it up on, what is it, IDMB or whatever, it included a lot of animated ones. I'm a big fan of animated TV, especially South Park, Family Guy. That was going to be my list, essentially. So I wanted to go to the live action sitcoms and see what we thought there.
We're going to have to do animated next.
Yeah, we are. That is next. There you go. There's your little teaser. That will be next. And then Hot and Not. College baseball picks of the week, final week, pivotal week for a lot of these teams, especially around the bubble. Pivotal week for Troy. They need a sweep this week against UL Monroe, and they could be looking at a large bid. It's going to take a little bit, but getting there. Big wins for the Trojans lately. Ole Miss. And I believe a lot of these series start tonight.
They started, I think some of them started yesterday. The Creighton series already finished the game.
I did not know that.
So.
Strange, starting on Wednesday. But I know a lot of these SEC series start tonight. We have Ole Miss paying visits to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to play the Crimson Tide. Everybody is on the Tide except Mikey. He's trying to get some back, and Ole Miss is up 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th right now in Game 1. That raises concern. Wow, Louisiana is beating Coastal right now. I almost threw that one on the list, too. So
going from hosting to not ranked.
Yeah. Mississippi State pays visit to Texas A&M. We're all on Mississippi State except the producer. He's on A&M.
Which is a great strategy.
Which is not, actually, because Mississippi State is up 17-4 right now in the bottom of the 5th against Texas A&M.
Gosh.
Dear God.
That is a lot.
That's a lot to a little. That makes me feel a lot better about that state pick. We almost
I just love watching Aggies just get absolutely shit on. So it's great. Fantastic.
I love it too. I hate A&M. I think,
me too.
Personally, I think this should probably be pretty unanimous across the country. The series of the weekend is this Georgia-Auburn game. We are split right down the middle. Me and Chase went with War Damn Eagle as they are up 1-0 in the 5th. Luke and Mikey went with the Georgia Dogs. And Chase, I'm sure you agree with me here. Auburn has paid dividends for us when we take them at home. That home environment has done really well for them. Their pitching staff has really come together well. The bats are getting there. They had a huge series win against Mississippi State last week. I love Auburn in this spot, especially since Georgia has clinched that 1 seed in the SEC. I think that takes a little bit of an edge off maybe the fire the Dogs had. Very comfortable gap. They're going to be hosting a super if they get there. they could get swept here, and I don't think it would really affect them too much. They definitely won't get swept, but you like Auburn here.
I do. I think that, every time we pick Auburn at home, they produce well, like you said. I think Georgia's season's pretty much wrapped up going into the SEC tournament.
Which I will be boots
I
on the
don't
ground,
think
by the way. Want to put that out there.
Fine.
I don't think they'll be pushing as hard as Auburn is, because there's still a lot. Auburn still has a lot to play for. So I don't necessarily think it'll be a sweep, but I do think Auburn wins this series.
And I think this is important to note. And I'm going to let Luke tell me why real quick. He's taking Georgia. But it's important to note where all these teams stand in the SEC baseball standings, because that truly does matter for the SEC baseball tournament with double buys and buys coming into effect. But go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I've seen, obviously, I don't think Arkansas is like Auburn home environment wise, but I've seen Georgia march into Arkansas and absolutely destroy them. I do think they kind of yes, they don't have something really to play for, but what are they? What team in the country are they? The 4?
Auburn's the 5th.
And
Georgia's the 4th.
The 4th. I mean, who knows? Maybe is the 3rd Texas?
No.
Well, maybe the 3rd overall.
Georgia Tech is.
Maybe they drop a series, Boston College. Maybe they can move up. Maybe they look more impressive, beating Auburn handily. Maybe they can move up a little bit. And I mean, yes, you're still going to host the Super, but you'll get a favorable draw in the College World Series. So I mean, they still have stuff to play for, and I really don't think you want to end your season going out on a loss. I think Georgia's going to want to go in here and win this game. So I do think Georgia. The bats are elite, and I think that's going to carry them this series. I think Auburn's going to flop heading into the SEC tournament, which you need Auburn to lose, I think, for state. So,
well, here's that. I'm pulling up the standings now. We've got 1 game separating the 2 seed to the 8, and we've got 3 games separating 2 seed to 9, or 2 games separating 2 seed to 9, 3 separating 2 seed to 11. So, I mean, there's a lot of fluctuation that could happen.
And I want to shout out Tennessee, undefeated in the midweek all year.
Yeah, for as they've been.
Which is so weird, because then you got Florida, who was terrible in the midweek.
And yeah, one's ranked, one's not. We are all on Georgia Tech against Boston College. Georgia Tech is up right now 5-0 in the bottom of the 4th. We are all on Oregon except against USC, except the producer. That game is at 10:05 tonight. Might have to tune in on a Thursday night. We're all on Michigan against Ohio State. We're all on Creighton against Xavier to conclude our college baseball picks of the week segment on this podcast until next season. Very looking forward to. We will break down the brackets of the top baseball conferences. In case you're wondering, Will, who are the top baseball conferences? I'll list them off to you right now. We're gonna do 5. Can you guess?
Oh, I got you. Sun Belt.
Yes,
SEC,
that's 1. 2.
ACC.
3.
Big Ten. Because of UCLA and all that crap. I think you kind of have to throw the Big Ten because of the Pac-12. I don't even know if you could throw the Big 12 in there.
It was the Big 12.
The Big 12. Yeah,
I was actually gonna do the ACC, SEC, Big 12, Sun Belt, and the Big Ten. I thought about doing the.
Well, you take the Cali teams out of the Big
Ten.
Then. Yeah, because all the Big Ten would have had was Nebraska.
But those are your Power 5.
Yeah.
Conference baseball. Anyway, moving on. The NHL playoffs. We've had a series conclude. 2 actually. Since we last spoke, I believe it's been 2. Carolina just wiped the floor with Philadelphia, Chase. Luke, I don't know if you watched any of that series. I thought it was, other than game 2, it was complete and utter domination by the Hurricanes. It is terrifying. As someone who is now rooting for Montreal to go all the way, it is terrifying for any team in the Eastern Conference to face the Carolina Hurricanes who have yet to lose a game. However, the math in hockey is starting to math that I will be betting on whoever plays Carolina in the first game, because I doubt you're going to win 9 in a row. It becomes like a streak thing of how likely it is to happen. I doubt they win 9 in a row. So actually, I mean, it's going to be tough for Carolina to win this series, because that requires them winning 12 out of a potential, 15 games, which is, I mean, that's tough. But if they do that, they're going to be a threat for the cup. Yeah, I give an A+ to Carolina. I think they're really dominant. Chase, what'd you take away from that series?
I mean, I thought that the Flyers just looked completely outmatched. Overall, I think the Hurricanes have played good hockey. I'm just still a little bit bullish on them, picking them to make the Stanley Cup final just because, I mean, if you look at who they've beaten, I wouldn't say the Senators were
It's the
that
easiest
imposing.
path so
And
far,
then,
right?
yeah, out of all four pathways, I think it's by far the easiest. You would have expected them to come out there now that they have been dominant, so you do have to factor that in. But I'm still a little bullish on picking them, especially when you're looking over and Buffalo and Montreal both are playing great hockey at the moment.
100%. Luke, what do you think about the Hurricanes?
I watched 2 games. I stopped watching it. It was the first 2 games that I watched was utter. I still think, even though game 2 was close or closer, it was utter domination by the Canes. And I kind of gonna go away. I think if anything, they lose game 2. I think they're gonna come out and win that first game at home, and that atmosphere. Which I don't know the history, how long it's been since they've been to the conference finals, but they're gonna win that first game in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. The Yeah, they would host. I'm pretty sure, no matter what. The only way I think they don't host it is Buffalo wins. But
Okay, yeah.
yeah. Another series concluded last night in shocking fashion. As someone who was on the Minnesota Wild money line on plus money, watching the team you bet on blow a 3-0 first period lead slowly but surely, and especially giving up 2 goals in the last 5 minutes was pretty brutal. However, this is a true statement by the Colorado Avalanche. This team put out Minnesota in 5 games, a team that looked really good against the Dallas Stars in the toughest division in the NHL this year, which has been the Central. Guys, I mean, Colorado, it looks like we're headed for a collision course between Colorado and Carolina, which means I know that won't happen. But I am pretty confident in the Avalanche's ability to make it to the Stanley Cup final at this point. They are just a level above right now in terms of scoring and defending. It's just they look like Edmonton had the past 2 years. Chase, what'd you take away from the Avalanche? And honestly, what'd you take away from the Wild? I thought they crumbled under the moment.
Very disappointing. From the Wild, I thought that through large parts of the series, the Wild looked like the better team, and they just couldn't get it done, especially in Game 5. I mean, to go up 3-0, in the first period, and you don't win that game, especially the way they played throughout it. I mean, they just crumbled at the very end, and to lose in the fashion they lost in overtime, it's just disappointing. I will say I thought Colorado was more physical, which is crazy to say because watching that Wild Dallas series looked like that Minnesota was the more physical team, but I think that series definitely took a tax on the Wild. Just winning a first playoff series in 10 years, plus just the physicality of every game and just the high stakes it was at. I mean, that was a massive series. Even some of the players talked about it going into Denver for the first 2 games, and they just didn't have the juice. And then, losing Game 4 where you go down 3-1. I mean, it's almost. I mean, that's an indictment to lose when you're gonna have to win 3 straight games against the Avs, which we knew that probably wasn't gonna happen, but the way they lost games 4 and 5, I mean, it was just disappointing. They should have won both. Um, you got to give credit to Colorado, though. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. I mean, even applaud the coach on the goalie switch. I mean, especially in the playoffs, that takes a lot of balls. And I mean, I thought McKinnon and Makar have looked absolutely phenomenal. Makar, I mean, I don't know, between him and Quinn Hughes, I mean, both of them have been my 2 top players in the playoffs this year, and I just disappointed to see Minnesota go out in the way they went out because I think they definitely crumbled and could have made this a series, and I think this series had the potential to go 7, and
I agree.
Avalanche were just a little bit more opportunistic and scored when they needed to score, and you got to give credit to them. I mean, I think a lot of people had, you know maybe had the Avalanche winning, but I think everybody thought this series was a lot closer than what it ended up being.
I just wanted to see more hockey out of these 2 teams, but everyone
I
had
did
it
too.
going further, except one person sitting to my right who said Avalanche in 5. Luke, what'd you think about Colorado?
Nate McKinnon, is that dude who hit the bounce?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
goal was insane where he throws it off the
He's
boards.
sick.
Yeah.
That was awesome. We were sitting at B-dubs and like I was watching it because the NBA game was on break. And holy shit, that was awesome. I can't believe they actually came back. I mean, I think that's a really big testament to Colorado. And that just kind of
Mhm.
proves they're going to be a super tough out in this playoffs because, I mean, you're down 3-0, you can easily kind of just like roll over, but they did not. And they battled to the final minute. And I mean, this Colorado team's going to be a very tough out. And I mean, if Vegas ends up winning, I could easily see them doing kind of the same thing to Vegas.
100%.
I will say one thing on this. This was definitely the hardest pathway out of all four. I think that it's clear to say Minnesota, Dallas, and Colorado all grouped in together. I mean, those are three 100-point teams. And Colorado just made it out in 9 games. So that's a real testament to them, especially going in to the Western Conference Finals, which I think they probably can handle Vegas or Anaheim.
100%. Don't want to speak too soon, but there's 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period. Montreal is up 6-3. So we're going to assume Montreal is going to be up 3-2. Head back to the Bell Center. I think they will get it done in Game 6. They had an opportunity to last time against Tampa. They dropped it at home. They're not doing it back-to-back times. Buffalo it's kind of like what was happening in Tampa series. Montreal's just out-skating them. They have too much offensive power. Goaltending was a little shaky at the beginning of this game, but Dobesh has still been unbelievable. I think Montreal is going to be the team to face Carolina East Conference Finals. Chase, and then Luke, what do y'all think about Montreal and Buffalo?
I think Montreal's youth has really provided that. I mean, they're just so quick on the offensive end, and they just look faster in the Lightning series and against the Sabres too. Sabres have played pretty well, but I think Dobish definitely has taken a step back in this series compared to the first series against the Lightning. He's still been great, but I don't think it's been as good from him necessarily. But Cole Caulfield finally seems like he's starting to find form, and I think Suzuki's been fantastic too. And I think Montreal should get it done in the Bell Center. We thought that's how it was going to happen in the Lightning series. It didn't. I think it happens in this series though.
Luke.
Yeah, Montreal's definitely been better to every game I've tuned into, but I'm still going to ride with my prediction. I think Buffalo's going to end up winning in 7, so I just feel Sabres in 7. That's all I'm saying. I'm riding with Billet.
Vegas was able to get a 3-2 series lead on the Anaheim Ducks at home. The series pivots back to Anaheim tonight. I cannot wait to finally get a Game 7 here in the West. Anaheim's taking this one. I think they take it actually pretty handily, and I think they win by 2 or more, partially because I took them on the alt spread, -1.5. But I do like the Ducks, man. I think Vegas, it's just the same thing as the Utah series. They just keep getting these bounces, man, that keep going their way, and it's kind of nuts. They haven't really sustained any sort of offensive pressure. They get a fortunate power play, and they'll score, and then they'll have like quick little outbursts of offensive productivity. I thought the defensive for Vegas to both series has been par at best. And I think Anaheim has shown up the same way, a little bit more timid than they did in the Oilers series, I think, for sure. But I think they've really kind of found their form later in the series. I really thought they were going to win Game 5. But I do think the Ducks at home are going to force a Game 7. And, it's kind of a coin flip going back to Vegas. I'd like the Ducks to see the Ducks through. I think they would give Colorado a tougher series. Not saying it'd go more games or anything, but I think they'd give Colorado a tougher series. So I'm going to go with the Ducks in 7. Chase and Luke, what do y'all think about our final Western Conference matchup?
Like we've talked about this with Vegas the whole time. I think Vegas has, if any team has gotten super lucky to win hockey games, I think it's the Golden Knights out of every team in the playoffs. I think that's pretty clear to see. I think Anaheim's probably been the better team through 5 games. I think this series is a lot kind of how we saw it play out with the Mammoth and the Golden Knights. It is pretty even. But I agree with you. I like Anaheim's odds to win at home. Should draw a pretty decent crowd, and I still really like this Ducks team, and I agree with you. I think they're playing this series a little bit safer than they did against the Oilers, but I think that's probably nature of who you're playing. I mean, you kind of have to, if you're going to beat a team like the Oilers, you kind of got to go out guns blazing, and you should do that every matchup. But I think they're playing this one a little bit more precautionary. But I think they get it done in 6 to force a really interesting Game 7.
Luke.
Yeah, no, like Ken Palm's got a luck percentage, and I even watch him because I watched more of the Utah series than I have this series because both were really late. I just kind of wanted Utah to win, so I stayed up. Um, I really do think they would be the highest luck percentage in all of the NHL right now. I mean, Utah, even coming from a guy who does not watch a lot of hockey, Utah looked better in most of that series, in my opinion. And in the game I watched in this series, I think the Ducks won, but obviously they looked better. So I think the Ducks get it done in 7. I would like the Ducks a lot more. Vegas, that they just kind of pissed me off. I don't know why.
Dude,
So
you are officially a hockey fan now because everybody in the NHL, no matter who you root for, unless it is Vegas, hates the Vegas Golden Knights.
they're just pissing me off.
Their whole fan base pisses me off. I will give Vegas one player from Vegas a tip of the cap. Mitch Marner has really come into form for the Vegas Golden Knights and actually has single-handedly carried them to one of those wins when he had that hat trick to just absolutely demolish the Ducks. So
What do you
out
think
Mitch
about
Marner.
his switch up, when he was with the Leafs to what he is now?
I think he found
Playoffs.
a better suitable environment for him. I don't think
Mhm.
he liked being essentially the shadow to Austin Matthews. I don't think they got along either. So I think that's kind of come to fruition here and showing what he can actually do with Vegas, which sucks. It's in our division, but good for Mitch Marner. He really has turned it up, especially in this series. Again, I do think he is literally the only person that's been a bright. I think Jack Eichel has been essentially a ghost in this series.
Oh, himself, 100%.
It just Mitch Marner's been the only one that has really showed up for Vegas. And shout out to their
He's
goalie as
really
well.
shown up,
I
though.
mean, controversial, but Carter Hart, he has like a .931 save percentage in the playoffs. I mean, he's absolutely balled out. So the goalie and Mitch Marner, man, that is who's keeping Vegas on the right side of these series.
Not bad to have people going for you, though.
No,
So
not at all. Over to the NBA. Man, it came to fruition, and I'm so happy. The Thunder swept the Lakers as
Yeah.
I think I originally predicted that, and then they said Luka could come back. He never did.
Which-
And so I'm going to say I was right in this sense because I said they would get a Luka bump.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, the
I
Thunder.
think we
don't.
all said that
Yeah.
they would get a Luka bump.
No Luka bump. Thunder and 4. The Thunder are going to win the NBA again. I think I can safely say that. They're at least going to the finals.
I don't think. I really because
let's pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Nah,
if you look,
they've yet to lose a game.
I know. but
Look at who they're gonna have to play
they're
next
probably gonna
round,
play the Spurs, and if they
and
play
look
the
at what the
Spurs,
Spurs have done in the regular season
the
against them.
Spurs have owned them. Sorry, Chase.
No. You're up next. So give your analysis because I completely agree.
Yeah, no, the Spurs have absolutely owned the Thunder in the regular season, and if they are able to come back or win this game 6, they will. I think they can take the Thunder to 7. It'll be a better series. It's really going to depend on how it's officiated, because I mean, some of the officiating in that Lakers series might have been top 3 worst officiating I've ever seen in my life. Like, I know the Thunder finals last year were bad because you had Casey Wallace holding TJ McConnell's arm, but like when Luke Kennard's dribbling up the floor, or was it Alex Caruso? I think was dribbling up the floor, and Luke Kennard's playing defense. Alex Caruso just kind of does the head thing, and they call a foul, and it's like then the Shet technical,
Every time.
how that didn't get like reversed after review, where he doesn't even get touched. But I do kind of think, I don't know what's up with Luka, because this is my understanding. How can Anthony Edwards do that to his knee, where it literally looks like it's about to fold? And he comes back, but Luka can't come back after sitting out for like a whole month or something. I kind of have a bone to pick with that. I know they probably, even if he was there, they wouldn't have won the series, but I just don't get that. I think you got to kind of show that I'm going to try and be that guy, especially if LeBron is on the way out. So, Chase?
Well, you and Ric Flair, I don't know if y'all saw that, but Ric Flair has been absolutely lighting Luka up all over Twitter. It's hilarious. I will say it's 2 different injuries. Hamstring injuries are really tricky, especially with the soft tissue. Knee injuries, like you can wear a brace, stuff like that. You can't really do that with a hamstring, especially with basketball and jumping. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some technicalities there. I will say, dude's got to, and this is the one time I will say it, but dude's got to lay off the alcohol. I mean, I think that is, it's pretty clear that is an issue for him. Yes, he's lost weight, but still, I think just in terms of recovery, everything like that, if he wants to reach the levels he wants to reach, he's got to, figure out nutrition wise what he can do to last the full season. Because, I mean, if you look, he's had a great career. I mean, Luka's a phenomenal basketball player. He'll have another All NBA first team, which will be, like, I think, 6 in his first 7 seasons. But I mean, he has nothing to show for it. And like in terms of championships or anything like that, only been to the finals once. So if you want to be playing your best basketball in March, April, May, you got to feel yourself better back, in October, November, December. So, we'll see what happens. I think that the Lakers probably still lose the series, even if Luka plays. I think it would probably go to 6 or 7 games just because of the player Luka is. He's one of the only people that can bring down the Thunder, but it just sucks that he had this injury so close to the playoffs, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and talking on the alcohol thing, there's a rumor that apparently he went and got treatment. Well, he did go, I think, get treatment overseas. There's a rumor
He did in
all
Spain.
he did was like drinking, party and shit with a bunch of his friends or girlfriend or
Allegedly, yeah.
yeah. So like, did he even get treatment? Was he ever even planning on playing? I mean, I think that's kind of why I'm more angry at it
Yeah.
because like, dude, you get paid to play basketball, which is like, who doesn't love playing? Like, even if you don't play basketball, you love to play basketball. So like, how, I don't know. He's just got to get his shit together. But you talk about the Spurs thing. What do you think the Wemby? I'm torn because it's the playoffs. The elbow. Do you think he should have gotten suspended?
No,
Okay.
no.
No.
I think he was. I don't think that was intentional. He's just a big guy. You see it all the time. You see it in
I
hockey
thought
a
it was a
lot
little
too.
intentional.
I also thought it
I
was a
mean,
little intentional.
halfway. But I mean, I love to see some fire out of him. I mean, this dude, it seems like he's hyper competitive. We need to bring some physicality back to the NBA because I'm so sick and tired of seeing the flopping. I'd rather see some elbows being thrown, get some physicality going, and I'm just tired of the foul baiting and everything like that. So no, I don't think he should have gotten suspended for an extra game. I thought just the ejection was fine. But I mean, I definitely made a difference. If Wemby doesn't get injected, I think the series is already over. So
Yeah, I do think they like say that happens in the fourth quarter. I think he would have been suspended, but the fact that he
yeah,
was out the whole game, I was kind of a little more shocked just because of like the modern NBA. Like I'm with you.
oh yeah,
I love guys throwing bows. I love like chippiness, like Knicks basketball, essentially like how they kind of play
hmm
with the chip on their shoulder, they're barking at each other. I like all that crap. I don't like what the Thunder do. Like the Thunder is the worst brand of basketball ever. Like Sam Wilson literally said, I don't know if I'm going to watch any more of the Thunder. He's a Thunder fan. I don't know if I can watch it anymore because of how bad it is to watch. So like that is the worst brand of basketball. I do
I
think
agree.
if Draymond would have done that, he would have gotten suspended. But the fact that he missed that full game, I think that's what was fine for him.
Yeah, that
And he's
kind of
not a repeat offender.
yeah.
So
It
I
makes me
think that's
pivot though. I agree with y'all. I've got Spurs in 6.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
Spurs
take
and six.
Spurs are winning this next game.
Especially the way Wemby came out in Game 5 and started that first quarter. I mean,
Yeah.
Spurs and 6.
The Knicks did sweep the 76ers. I mean,
That was no contest.
Yeah.
That last game they won by 50 was just embarrassing. I mean, it was embarrassing.
like I said, I thought the
The series
Sixers
gonna
kind of
be
shot
a
their
lot
load
closer.
against the Celtics.
Mhm.
But yeah,
This is shocking though. I mean, I
Um,
didn't think it was gonna be that like
I don't think anybody did.
yeah, I don't think it was gonna be that bad.
uncontested. I
Though.
mean, it was bad.
I mean, especially because the Sixers do have guys that are good at
Uh-huh.
basketball. Like, I mean, it's not like they're. I wouldn't say it's like they're the Trailblazers 7 seed. They're like if they were all healthy all throughout the year, they easily could have been a 3 seed. So I mean, it is kind of
Agreed.
shocking and scary that the Knicks absolutely dismantled them.
Something's not going the way you thought. Cleveland leads the Detroit Pistons 3-2.
That was
Game 6 is in Cleveland. Guys, I'm gonna call it. It's going back to Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't really lose at home. I'm gonna take the Cavs in 6 here for Cavs Knicks Eastern Conference Finals.
yeah. I'm in the
Agree.
same boat because Cleveland that was their first road win in the playoffs this year because them and the Raptors went home, won every game in that series. And I mean, when Donovan Mitchell, like before overtime, had 14 points and you're going to overtime, like that's insane. I mean, Cade Cunningham played out of his mind. Jalen Duren is an absolute terrorist. First off, what Bickerstaff benched him in the fourth quarter and overtime. He didn't play for the rest of the game. I got to rant about this because he sold my parlay. He was 3 points away heading into the fourth quarter, and they benched him for fourth quarter and overtime because he has been so bad. And Paul Reed has more points than he does in like 30 minutes. Like Paul Reed's played 30 minutes and Duren's played like almost double that, and he's got more points than Duren does. I mean, oh, it's so bad. But James Harden played out of his mind. Max Strus, I think, hit like 6 threes. He was automatic. Allen and Moby both played well. I mean, they can't, though, have Mitchell do that again because there's no way. If he does that again in game 6, this thing's going back to Detroit and Detroit's winning. But I do kind of agree with you, Will. I think the Cavs are going to go play the Knicks in Eastern Conference Finals.
Chase.
I got the Cavs, and I do want to point this out that I would have gotten every single matchup of the Eastern Conference minus the Celtics losing to the 76ers, right? To set up the Cavs, Knicks is kind of how I saw it going. I like this Cleveland team. I think they're really good. I think Harden's been fantastic. I think Donovan Mitchell has played well enough too, and the two bigs, Allen and Mobley, have looked great. It's Cade Cunningham versus the world, essentially. He's a phenomenal basketball player. I just don't think that this is the same Pistons team that we saw throughout the regular season. You kind of saw it towards the end of March that they were faltering a little bit, and it's come to fruition here in April and May. So I think that, Cleveland will get it done, and we got a Knicks-Cavs series in the Eastern Conference Finals.
NASCAR heads to Dover for All-Star Weekend. However, not All-Star races for our trucks and O'Reilly. In the trucks, I'm going with the 77 Carson Hocevar. He's going to ride his Dente all the way to Victory Lane in Dover. Luke, who are you going with?
I'm going with Daniel Hemsley.
Former Cup driver. You got you.
Yeah, so he's been started the season off a little rough, but Bristol 12th. Yeah, that is finishing. Texas, he finished 7th, and then Watkins Glen finished 4th. I mean,
he's on the upward twin, yeah.
He's due maybe to win here. So maybe he'll get a truck series right.
Chase, going with the other Spire Motorsports truck.
I believe I went with Kyle Busch.
Yeah, you stuck his cup number on there. I fixed it.
Yeah, that was my fault. I was a little confused. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going with Kyle Busch here. Anytime you have a cup series running in the truck series, you usually do pretty well. So I got Kyle Busch in this one.
Yes, sir. Forgot to tell you about that. In the
O'Reilly
series,
I was working.
Yeah, of course, brother. We got the Bet Rivers 200 at Dover. I am going with and I forgot who this was actually. He's another former Cup driver. And let's go to the entry list. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I got you.
I never fumble on this. Harrison Burton, excuse me. For another former Cup driver, he's been running well recently in the Rally Series. I think he gets himself in a victory lane this weekend in the 24 at Dover. He also doesn't run bad at Dover. So there you go. Shot in the dark, going with Harrison Burton. Luke, imagine that.
I'm going Sheldon Creed. I'm picking him until he wins. Okay, I'm picking him until he wins. That's all I'm saying. Second in the Cup standings.
Yeah.
I think I picked one other driver in this. And the week I picked one other driver, he won. Every other week, I think I picked him. He's due.
Chase.
I'm going with the young guy and Connor Zilicic. He's been running pretty well as of late, and I think he gets it done this week.
100%. All-Star race at Dover. Denny Hamlin's the king of Dover. I'm going to go with Hamlin. He's going to win the All-Star race. He's also been running really well this year. Chase, you agree?
Completely agree. I think Denny Hamlin's been running really well over the last couple of weeks as well. And he's done great at Dover, so I'm rolling with Denny Hamlin.
Luke, going with the prodigal son.
Yeah, I wasn't sweeping Denny Hamlin, so I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs. He's been racing really well this year. He's got one under his belt. I think this is where he gets his second win in his career, right?
Yes, technically wouldn't count though because it is the All-Star race, but same shit.
Yeah. What's the difference with the All-Star race?
It's just for
fun.
But the winner gets like $1 million.
Do they get points in this?
No, it's just strictly for cash.
Okay.
$1 million payout to the winner, which I don't think happens in any other race. I think Daytona comes close with like 800,000 or something, but PGA Championship picks and preview. Look, I'm a Memory League fan. I haven't picked him yet this year, so I was going to take him for the PGA Championship. Let him cook. He's my favorite golfer. Is he really?
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team.
I didn't put him in my fantasy.
I did, yeah.
But I picked him to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, yeah, let him cook, dude. Woozy, yeah, tied for first. Let's
There's
go
like
3
six
under.
guys up there,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a ton of them up there. But yeah, let Chef cook. Memory Lee. Luke, who you going with?
Yeah, I'm going with Cam Young. I think after the Masters, I think like he's going to win a major. I don't think he's going to win the U.S. Open. It's either going to be this or the Open. So
Tied for 49th, +1.
he
Chase.
gets a +1.
Yeah, Chase, who you going with?
Hey, Scotty Scheffler has been playing some great golf since the Masters. We saw him come up just short at the Masters. He's been playing great ever since then. I think that he gets it done. He's gonna go back to back. Looked great today. Is tied for first currently. I liked what I saw out of Scheffler today on a tough. It looked like everybody was having a little bit of trouble today. Nobody really distanced themselves from the pack. I think that's what we had, like, I think 7 or 8
6.
tied for
I
first.
think we have 6 tied.
So 6 tied for first, so that's what it ended up being. I like Scotty's chances. He's obviously the best golfer in the world. I think this is his first major of 2026.
MLB power rankings. I'm going with the Braves first, and they've yet to prove me wrong. Staff's unbelievable. Power is there. Hitting's there. Number 2 is the team of small ball, baby, and my favorite team in the AL, the Tampa Bay Rays, baby. Staff's been unbelievable out of nowhere. I had very low expectations for both my teams, the Cardinals and the Rays, and here they are, my power rankings in May. Number 3 are the Cubbies. I hate it, but the Cubs are playing good baseball. Number 4, the Yanks, just strictly due to their power at the bats. Pitching's been a little shaky as of late for the Yanks, but I think they'll get it turned around when they get healthy. And then number 5 are the Cardinals, man. The Cardinals just keep winning baseball games, and I have no reason to doubt St. Louis. And I'm just excited as a baseball fan right now because it's looking way better than I thought it was going to be for me this year. Luke, what are your power rankings?
I want to throw one thing about the Cubs. They've lost 4 in a row. So just
Good team.
throw that out
Good
there.
team, though.
Screw the Cubs. I had to throw that out there. Yeah, the Braves.
Oh, I hate the Cubs just as much as you. Trust me.
Yeah, all right. My dad. Sorry, that capped off as shitty, but I was not meaning that. Anyways, the Braves are obviously, I think, the best team in baseball. You've got the best staff and the best lineup. I mean, it's kind of insane. Acuna's not playing because he's hurt. They have, I think, the highest run differential. Yeah, they have the highest run differential by 30 runs. They have 93 run differential. The next team is 69. Nice. So, I mean, they just rake and they pitch really well. I mean, it's insane. The Rays, wow. I mean, small ball is, I mean, Chandler Simpson's hitting 300. He's an absolute demon. Like, you'll see, like, things on ESPN where it's like ground single to the pitcher, and he's getting on base. That's how fast he is. I mean, you got Junior Caminero. I mean, their offense, it's just like a way more small ball version of the Cardinals. Like, they don't have like that. I don't know how Caminero's doing, but
He's doing pretty well power wise.
yeah, okay, yeah. So like, they just have like him for the power, but it's very interesting to see if this does hold.
And Andy Diaz is no slouch either, but
Then number 3, I'm putting the Cardinals. Jordan Walker is an MVP. I fully bought it on the Kool-Aid. I saw some tweet today. It is the last time they like won. They were around this record. It's like 100-win season in 2015, a World Series in 2011, or some crap.
future?
Dude, it's like a bunch of stuff, and I'm totally drinking the Kool-Aid, which I think is understandable at this point. We're going to get Newbar returning for helping our outfield. Our starters are actually doing really well. The bullpen's looking a lot better, too, which is very scary. Ryan Stanek, before today, had 8 innings in a row without a run.
Before today.
Like the radio announcer said, if he throws it in the strike zone, it's pretty hard to hit. It's just, is he going to throw it in the strike zone? But, I mean, the Cardinals have looked really well. The power's there. The pitching, McGreevy's got a top 5 ERA in the league, so I did not expect that. Then I got the Brewers. I mean, the Brewers, this whole NL Central could literally be on here. It is absolutely loaded. The Brewers have the pitching with Mizorowski, who has the top 30 fastest pitches by a starter this year, which is pretty insane to think about. That dude's elbow is going to be cooked in about a year and a half.
Yep.
But, I mean, yeah, the Brewers are always up there. They got a good pitching staff. They got a good pen, and they can obviously hit the ball. And then I'm throwing the Yankees. They've lost. They're 5-5 in their last 10. still, it's the Yankees. I think their pitching staff is actually really good, and then Garrett Cole is going to end up coming back soon if he can lose some of that weight. So those are my top 5.
Chase.
I want to preface before my power rankings don't go kind of week by week. I look at it more of a whole season, like where do I think they're going to be at the end of the year, not just who's hot over the period. So I want to preface, I don't think the Dodgers right this second are the second best team in baseball, but we're going to get into it. The Braves obviously have, great roster going into the season, but I think we can all say they've tremendously overachieved at this point. Like you said, Luke, 93 run differential is absolutely absurd for the point we're at in the season. The power's there, the staff's there. This looks like a really freaking good Atlanta team. I got the Dodgers at 2. Yes, they have struggled. Yes, they're not in first place in the NL West, but it's still the Dodgers. They still have 3 MVP candidates year in, year out on their team. Absolutely loaded. I do like to say, though, I like that Kyle Tucker struggled a little bit after that kind of snaky move going to the Dodgers. So I don't hate his struggles, but this is too good of a roster for their struggles to continue. I think they'll start to figure some stuff out come June, July, especially around the trade deadline. They always bolster up. This Dodgers team is going to be fine. They're going to be really good. I got the Yankees at 3rd. I know that they've struggled a little bit over the last 2 weeks, but they're about to get a big jump back once Garrett Cole comes back. In terms of staff, the power's still there. That lineup might be, outside of the Braves, might be the second best lineup in the sport. I still love this Cubs team at 4. I think they're really good. I know that they've lost 4 in a row, but I do like this Cubs team. They play good baseball. And then I got the Padres at 5. I am a little bullish. I probably should put Milwaukee in this spot. I think Milwaukee has played really well over the last couple weeks. But I still think the Padres, they have just a little bit of magic to them this year where they're eking out a bunch of, as you guys saw with the St. Louis series, a lot of close games at the end, just finding ways to win in the 9th inning or in extras. You can't deny that luck. It's a little bit concerning at this point now when you look at Machado's numbers, Jackson Merrill's numbers, and Tatis's numbers at this point in the season. No home runs for Tatis, and Merrill and Machado are slashing way below probably what everybody expected them to. Hopefully it turns around. You would think with those type of players it would, but definitely concerning if I'm a Padres fan. But I mean, I got to give a shout out to the Brewers. I think the Cardinals have been fantastic this year, and the Rays have been playing some great baseball as of late. And so, if they continue playing well, I have to put them on my list. But definitely is going to change over the next couple of weeks. I think this season's absolutely wide open.
100%. By the way, we have gone final in Buffalo, 6-3 Montreal. We'll be heading to Game 6 at Montreal. Montreal up 3-2. Most valuable promotions 1. This is MVP 1 for the MMA. We have some Hawks on this card. Our first fight, and I'll give you all a bit of a breakdown because I'm sure a lot of you MMA fans or just casual fight fans are unfamiliar with
my breakdown's going to be pretty elite
with what's going on this weekend. It's the Unk Off, as us UFC fans would call it. A lot of former UFC people like Junior Dos Santos, whose last fight in the UFC was in 2020 against Cyril Gahn. He has lost 5 in a row. Now, last time he lost, he was winning and had a shoulder injury in the 3rd round. But besides the point, he is fighting Robles Despain. Despain lost back-to-back fights in the UFC and got cut to Waldo Cortez Acosta and then Austin Lane. They are fighting in the first fight of the main card. Despain 5-2. All 5 of his wins by knockout. Most of his losses by decision. Junior Dos Santos 21-10 with 10 wins by knockout. And he has 6 knockout losses. So, for the first fight, look, I'm going with Junior Dos Santos here. I'm going with the, essentially, both these guys are on losing streaks. Both have been cut from the UFC. Dos Santos coming out of retirement act, pretty much. I mean, his last fight was in 2022.
Dang.
I think these old dudes that come back to the MMA, he's not fighting a UFC caliber fighter. He got cut from the UFC for a reason. He's going to be hungry for a win. Junior Dos Santos is a legendary heavyweight in the UFC. I'm going to take him to get it done by knockout against Robles Despain. Luke and Chase, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, no, I took him because he's got Dos in his name and he's got 2 last names. So that's my analysis right there.
I can't hate on that. Chase, how do you see it going?
I actually didn't know Despain very well, so I went with Dos Santos just because I knew the name. Like you said, legendary heavyweight. I did know that he'd been retired for a while, so hopefully coming out of retirement, he can come get a dub.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to bet on this fight. These fights, it's gonna be such a crapshoot. Our next fight is a massive, massive favorite, minus 1350 on the Frenchman Saladin
Wow.
Parnasse. He is fighting Kenneth the Boss Cross. Parnasse 22-2, the Boss 17-4. Parnasse has 7 wins by knockout, 6 by sub. Kenneth Cross has 8 wins by knockout, 5 by sub. He has 4 sub losses, while Parnasse has lost once by decision, once by knockout. Not a former UFC guy for Parnasse. He has won 4 fights in a row, all by finish, all by knockout. Kenneth Cross, also not a technical former UFC guy. He was on UFC's Tough Enough. He did win. But I mean, the odds spoke to me here, guys. I had to go with Parnasse. I'm actually, he's got some sub wins in there. So I'm going to go with Parnasse by submission. How do y'all see it going?
I don't know if me and Chase are on the same wavelength, but we might be. I only picked Cross because maybe he's related to Chase. I think this is going to be a Cross victory this weekend. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was the exact same reason why I picked Kenneth Cross. And then I mean, he's got the name the Boss Cross. That's just a fire
He's definitely
moniker
that.
there. So I mean,
Mitch
we'll
Marner
see. I
just
know
scored
it's
a minute in against the Dodgers.
I can't go against somebody with the same last name as me. I don't know if he's related to me or not. Probably not, looking at his picture, but
Never know. You can't count it
you
out.
never know.
Chase, Mitch Marner just scored a minute in. Absolutely tear by
Jeez.
Mitch Marner.
He's on there.
Welterweight bout between Nate Diaz and Mike Perry. You're not an MMA fan if you don't know these two names. Nate Diaz, coming out of retirement for this fight. His last fight was in 2022 where he beat Tony Ferguson. He is a former UFC guy. He had back-to-back losses to Leon Edwards and Jorge Masvidal before that. 21-13 with 14 sub wins and 5 knockouts. He does have 2 knockout losses and a sub loss, but 10 by decision. Platinum Mike Perry, more recent UFC guy. He lost to Daniel Rodriguez last time out on April 10th, ended up leaving the UFC. Yeah, dude, I think Nate Diaz is foaming at the mouth for this fight against Mike Perry, and I think he's going to get it done by knockout in round 3. Luke and Chase, how do you see it?
Yeah, I recognize Nate Diaz, and he is kind of scary. Him and he has a brother, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, him and his brother are both very scary, and you would be smoking if you did not pick Nate Diaz in this fight.
Chase.
I agree. Nate Diaz was great in the UFC, and I mean, I'd like to see him get a win here, but I cannot stand him. But you know what? I hope he wins in this one.
Our co-man, we have Francis Ngannou against Felipe Lins, both former UFC guys. Obviously, Ngannou more prominent, but something about Felipe Lins. I mean, he did not lose his last 4 fights in the UFC. I mean, he most recently fought in 2024 on that O'Malley Vera 2 card. Francis Ngannou was left in the UFC after a Cyril Gane win in the UFC 270, won in the PFL in a first-round knockout, has been sitting there since 2024. Both these guys have not fought officially since 2024. Dude, Francis Ngannou is absolutely terrifying. I would never bet against this dude. I think he wins by knockout, probably in round 2 against Felipe Lins. How do y'all see this one going?
Yeah, and then not Francis, I'm going to butcher the last name, but he also did boxing. So
Yeah.
I think it's not like he is.
He actually hasn't lost a fighting thing in a long time.
He hasn't been completely dormant. So it's not like some of these guys are just coming out and not fought at all in any sort of thing in 3 years. And that dude is built like a Mack truck. He is very scary. So, I mean, you can't pick against him.
Chase.
I mean, you on top of it, I don't know if you guys ever see those videos of Ngannou punching people.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, this dude's punching power is insane. I would not want to be Felipe Lins in this fight. I think if Ngannou connects, it's over. And Gunner's chomping at the bit. He hadn't been in the ring and in the octagon in forever. So I think he's going to be ready to go. He looks dialed in his camp. I think he wins this weekend.
And finally, this should be the co-main. I want to put that out there. This Ngannou fight should be the main, or even the Nate Diaz fight. We have the Antoff, if the other ones are Unks. Ronda Rousey has not fought since 2016, where she lost to Amanda Nunes in the first round. She is coming off back-to-back losses in 2015 and 2016. Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. Even worse, Gina Carano has one never fought in the UFC, but two she hadn't fought since 2009. I'm the when you're taking a 17-year layoff versus a 10-year layoff, I'm going to go with the 10-year layoff. Also, Ronda Rousey rocks, so I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey by a very boring decision. That's what I'm going with. Luke and Chase, how do you see it?
Again, I think me and Chase are on the exact same wavelength potentially. I'm gonna go with Corrado because she was in Andor. She played in Star Wars. She was in, or she wasn't in. Yeah, she was in Andor, and she was in Star Wars. So I'm going with Corrado. Maybe the Force will be with her.
Chase.
That's exactly what I said. I thought she was in The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, with
Let me check.
Mandalorian. Because then she got kicked off because
Yeah. So she was in the
bullcrap.
Mandalorian,
Not Andor.
and she was pretty
I
badass
apologize.
in there. So that's
Yeah.
why I was like, oh my gosh, no way she's actually. I didn't realize before watching that show that she was an MMA fighter,
I
but
didn't either.
obviously I had to roll with her in this one. I mean, it sucks that she got kicked off the Mandalorian, but the Force is with her. She's gonna be Ronda Rousey, and
Yeah.
again, we're on the same wavelength. So
Breaking news: I think Grogu might be in her corner. So
Wow.
I wouldn't be
Did you
shocked.
see that Mason Miller
More-
commercial? She might. Snap
Yeah, it was
Ronda's
fire.
Yeah, look,
I mean, that's
I think this main event could be the worst main event I've seen in a while. I think that may be the point of the card where I turn it to the UFC fight night and watch.
Yeah. So, question: do you think it'll be worse than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson thing?
No, it's MMA, dude. People can. I mean, you can get your ass kicked real bad in MMA. It's not like boxing. I mean, Ronda Rousey's very liable to submit her in round one. I mean, which would be electric. But
Toronto's very liable to somehow submit her in round one.
I don't think that's
exactly.
the
I
case.
completely agree.
I
Will,
don't.
the Force is with her, dog.
I don't.
Just because she was in the WWE while Corrado was in galaxies far, far away. I mean, it's
Exactly.
like
I don't know what the hell Gina Carano was doing taking this fight. To be honest with you,
I mean, she was on Tatooine.
She has no business being in an octagon. I mean, absolutely none.
I mean, she's probably got to get some money to pay off Jabba the Hutt.
She has to be
Yeah.
hungry for money, but for this, because Ronda Rousey, you can tell by the way she was talking about it, is truly just doing that because she wants to fight again, just not in the UFC, like be on a contract. She's supposed to fight one more time. I think she picked someone, handpicked someone, because she's the one that offered this fight. Handpicked someone she knows she is going to absolutely annihilate, and maybe actually get another run at the UFC. We'll see. FA Cup final picks. Chase, break down the FA Cup.
All right, so the FA Cup season-long competition between it's all the top flight English divisions, all the way from Division 7 all the way up to the Premier League. So you started off, all the lower division teams play each other. By round 3, most of the top flight teams in the Premier League are playing, and we've kind of gotten down to the point where Chelsea kind of lucked their way into the FA Cup final. Man City's been absolutely dominant on their run to the FA Cup final, and we're looking at, Man City outside of the Champions League has been on a really good run of form in the league. They won the Carabao Cup already this season. Looking like it might be their manager Pep Guardiola's last chance at a trophy with Manchester City. He may be leaving. Nobody knows kind of what's going on there now. Chelsea, on the other hand, has been on a terrible run of form as of late. Terrible in the league. Just fired their coach that they hired at during the Christmas transfer period. Not a lot going good for Chelsea. Lots of good things for Man City. But I will say Man City is still in a title race with Arsenal in the league at the moment. So maybe some tired legs, and Chelsea has really nothing left to play for because it's looking like they won't make Europe unless they win the FA Cup. So we can kind of see. So I think that this is a really interesting game. These one-off finals can be really tricky. Both teams have talented players. Cole Palmer has not had the season that he's wanted for Chelsea, but João Pedro's been fantastic since he's joined, and they have some good players around them like Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo. See what Chelsea can do, but I think this Man City team led by Holland, Doku, and Ryan Cherky will probably end up getting it done. So I picked Man City because I just think they're a little bit better. But Will and Luke, how do you guys see it going?
Yeah, I think Man City is just going to completely overpower Chelsea. Chelsea's form has been absolutely atrocious. This is a no-brainer for me. I didn't even have to think about it. Luke.
I mean, I don't know. My gut says you're all going Man City. I like a little bit of color in our slide. Not all the same thing. I do know who Cole Palmer is. I do know they won the big thing a few years ago, like in Europe.
Club World Cup. Yeah.
And like nobody, they were not supposed to win. They're not supposed to win this. Cole Palmer's going to will them to a win over Man City and that Norwegian, whatever he is, ugly dude. So
don't speak
Holland,
Erling Holland, man. All right. Here's our Swiss Army 5 top 5 TV sitcoms non-animated of all time. This is our opinion, obviously. Chase, your number 3 I've yet to watch and I want to. It's on my list. Number 1 for me, The Office. I've watched it front to back 3 times. It kind of drags. It's actually something I just popped in and watch at any time. I think it's got the dry humor that I like. It's got an unbelievable storyline, very heartwarming. Love The Office. Number 2, Friends. 90s Jennifer Aniston is undefeated. She bets 1,000. And carries a lot of the visual aspects of the show. She was my childhood crush. And Friends is just fun. It's just a fun TV sitcom. I can't say there's not much of a storyline, but at the same time, it's not really much of a storyline. I mean, there's little mini storylines that doesn't follow this one gigantic storyline. Anyway, the main storyline really is just Monica and Chandler being together. But anyway, and then Ross and Rachel. Seinfeld's number 3. Jerry Seinfeld is an unbelievable comedian, at least back in the 90s he was. I thought every single one of those episodes I've watched, I'm pretty sure every episode, front to back. Entertaining show. Number 4 is Parks and Rec. I feel like that guy's a little slept on.
Chris Pratt, man. It's so
Chris
funny.
Pratt's hilarious. I mean, there's so many good bits. Aziz Ansari is great in that show. Whoever plays Leslie Knope does it perfectly. Just the annoying liberal white woman in the show. I mean, it just there's a lot of great moments in that show. I've also watched that one front to back multiple times. And number 5 is Blue Mountain State, dude. Vibes only. That show rocks. There's nothing better than, long night out and you sit down and watch a little Blue Mountain State. Love BMS. Great show. I've watched that one front to back quite a few times. So instead of watching other shows, I really like the ones I like and I watch them multiple times. Luke, what are your top 5 TV sitcoms?
Number 1 is Blue Mountain State. I mean, Dad Castle, Alex Moran. I mean, that show is so funny, and that's kind of, if you look at this list, it's kind of humor I go with. But so they are my number 1, and then number 2 is The Office. I've watched the entire Office. It's a classic too. That's kind of why I had it up a little higher at 2. I love Michael Scott. Jim and Dwight is just undefeated. And then number 3 is Eastbound and Down. I don't know if y'all watched Eastbound and Down. Highly recommend it. It's Kenny Powers. It's like the whole baseball thing, and there's some very funny clips that whoever plays his like special friend or whatever is so funny. It's just Daryl from The Office is in it. Will Ferrell does some stuff in it. It is absolutely hilarious. It is just like really bad humor, and it's awesome. And then Phil Dunphy. That's all I got to say for number 4. I think I can watch Modern Family anytime. It'll be on. It could be halfway through an episode. I'll sit down and watch it. I love Modern Family. It's awesome. And then number 5 is Always Sunny. Number 5 is, it's been too long. It's spanned out, but still the early seasons of It's Always Sunny are hilarious. They literally have an episode where one of them dresses up as a Nazi because his grandpa, Charlie, dresses up as a Nazi because he steals D's and I can't think of his name. They steal his grandpa's stuff, and he was a Nazi. The shit is hilarious. So number 5 is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is not typing that out.
Jace, what are your top 5 TV sitcoms?
I was raised on Friends. I've probably seen Friends front to back probably 5 or 6 times. I could probably quote most of the episodes now. I mean, some episodes I've seen 12 plus times. This is the show I kind of grew up on. Um, I just think that they were so perfectly casted, and I'll push back a little bit on you, Will. I think that there is a good story. I mean, every episode has a story, and there's some overarching stories, but I just think this show was
That's what I
done
kind of
so
meant
perfect.
though. That it's like
Yeah.
there's not one main like The Office. I feel like follows one main storyline.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Friends, each individual episode they're all very unique. I just love the characters. I mean, I think like Ross resembles my dad so much. I think just a lot of things like that where I've grown up watching the show and fall in love with all the characters. And I agree with you. Jennifer Aniston
There we
was
go.
peak,
I
but
knew it
I'll
was coming.
say young Courtney Cox too.
Oh yeah,
Like
100%.
first couple seasons, definitely up there too. But my number two, Modern Family. I just started watching this a year ago,
I haven't seen it
and
yet.
I
That's on my
love
bucket list.
Modern Family. Oh my, like it is hilarious. I would put this up there higher if Friends wasn't so nostalgic for me. I love Modern Family, especially the earlier seasons. I think it's kind of a perfect show for our generation because it shows kind of the weird dynamics that we have going on. And Phil Dunphy, like Luke said, absolutely fantastic character. I love all the kids in this show. I think they make it really heartful, and Sofia Vergara just does great in the show too.
No,
So I
I'm sure she
love,
does.
yeah,
Talented actress.
most definitely. I love Modern Family. It's turning into my new comfort show. And then in terms of really, I mean, I didn't even realize it was a sitcom until I looked at like the list of all sitcoms. I didn't realize Ted Lasso was considered a sitcom. This
100% it is. Yeah.
show is one of my favorite shows that I think I've watched in maybe my lifetime. I hate that it's only 3 seasons long because, and I know they're coming back with a women's team now, but it's just such a genius concept, and it was so well done. Ted Lasso kind of follows the story for you guys that don't know. Follows the story of a American football coach that goes over to England and coaches in the Premier League. And he's just an awesome guy, super heartful. The message behind the show is just it's so pure and wholesome and good. And I just love the whole team. Like the entire cast is fantastic, but the team that he coaches, all the people that they picked out play their roles perfectly. And shout out to one of their players is actually playing semi-pro in El Paso right
I
now.
did see
So
that.
I
Yeah.
saw
when,
that.
yeah, so that's kind of a big deal, going from being an actor to playing in the USL, which is the second division of American soccer. So pretty cool. And then at four, I think it'd be wrong to have The Office off this list. I think all three of us can agree. Absolutely iconic. Michael Scott is hilarious. Steve Carell just does such a good job, but John Krasinski is great as Jim, and Dwight's hilarious. I mean, The Office is just great. And then I haven't seen enough of Seinfeld, but I know how iconic it is. A lot of people who grew up in the 90s would have Seinfeld at one. I've seen some of it and I really liked it, so I probably need to invest more, but I got Seinfeld at five.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to throw this out here. Never seen Friends. I've only watched it through Instagram, so I obviously know the basis. I've seen a lot of stuff on TikTok and Instagram, but I've never actually sat down and watched an episode of Friends.
Need to. Need to.
So
Who's hot and who's not? Right now, 9 are the Ducks. Just gave up a short-handed goal down 2-0, man. 1.5 looks bleak. My hot are the Oilers. They fired their coach today, Chris Knobloch. He has just been a very neutral, stagnant head coach. I feel like we need someone to get the veterans fired up a little bit. Can't wait for Bruce Cassidy to be the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm very confident in that conviction. He said he wanted to be in Edmonton. I guarantee you we give him a good offer. If not, it'll be Peter Laviolette, who led the Nashville Predators to a Stanley Cup final. And if he can lead the Nashville Predators to a Stanley Cup final, I feel like you're a pretty damn good coach. My not is the Oilers. They drugged this thing out way too long. It got leaked that we requested to interview. Again, I could put the Knights as the Vegas Golden Knights too here. We requested to interview Bruce Cassidy, who got fired by the Vegas Golden Knights with 8 games left to go in the series, in the season, regular season. The way the NHL works is, you know how usually you have to request to interview like an assistant in the NFL and stuff like that. Well, in the NHL, if you're still under your contracted tenure, even when you're fired, since they owe you that money, you still have to ask permission. it is usually a foregone conclusion that they're going to allow you to speak to their fired coach. Vegas denied them and to Oilers the right to speak to Bruce Cassidy, which then got leaked to the media, which then led our now, fired head coach, but at the time not fired 2 days ago. Oh, shit, I'm getting fired. They did not fire him that day. Did not fire him the next day. It took till this morning to actually fire him. We fired another assistant coach as well. Didn't like the way we handled that exactly. I thought we should have fired him the day after we got eliminated from the playoffs. I do think it'll all work out. Stan Bowman, our GM's an idiot, but he has made some good moves. I mean, he hadn't done anything necessarily to get fired yet. He's been there such a short tenure. But Knobloch needed to go. We needed to change the direction up front. So my hot are the Oilers. My not are also the Oilers. And my double not, the Vegas Golden Knights. I cannot stand that franchise. This is just the kind of bullshit they do all the time. So, Luke, what's your hot and not?
Kind of rare. My hot is going to be work because all we're doing is testing circuits. So me and this dude, one guy's out like in the rooms actually with the tester, making sure everything works, leveling plates. The other guy gets to sit in the electric room and just kind of sit on your phone. So like he goes, we each like kind of split up the day. So half the day I get to sit in the electric room. I was watching the PGA Championship on the little like data vault we got until I had a drill bit thrown at me. So then I had to buy a Foreman because apparently it's a shitty drill bit. And I was like, I don't know, man. I just got given it by you. So, and he threw it at me, then I had to stop watching it. But anyways, yeah. So I'm kind of getting this, not mess around, but not have to work very hard. So it's pretty nice. So I do have to work today or tomorrow and then Saturday, which I'm totally looking forward to. Then my not is going to be school. We're in our hardest.
Wait, you have to work this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but my not is school. We're in our hardest unit in the school. First off, Monday, it took me 4.5 hours to do my homework. It was brutal. Like I was gouging my eyes out. It was really bad. Then last night, our homework was over something in electrical theory, which you only take if you're getting an electrical engineering degree. So why? Like, and our teacher's like, I don't know why this is in like the unit because I barely even know what it is. And like, if you go out and ask anybody in the field, they don't know what it is. You have to go up to like the engineers. Half of them know what it is. It's just like so like minuscule and there's no point of it. And it's not even on our test. I have to somehow pass the homework. I got a 47 on the homework. I don't know how to pass it. And it's really pissing me off because I'm getting almost everything right everywhere at like all of our other units. But it's really frustrating. It's a bunch of math and it's frustrating. So that's why it's my not.
Chase, what's your hot not?
Well, I could have multiple knots when it comes to like school and stuff like that. I want to just say Troy, I was supposed to graduate in like yesterday. And they had some clerical error where I'm not graduating until the middle of the summer, which makes absolutely zero sense. But I'll already be in Atlanta at that point, so crazy times. But my hot, Drake drops a new album tonight. Great rollout for his new album, Iceman. I'm excited to tune into that. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's the typical Drake we come to expect, not like what the last album was. But my not, I cannot stand Ole Miss.
Oh, go to hell, Ole Miss, baby. Let's go. Welcome on to the train.
Oh man, I did not see what y'all saw. Personally, I'm not the biggest Lane Kiffin hater in the world. I'm sure you guys don't like him as much, but
I love now they
I didn't mind Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. But now that he's left and just seeing their interactions from like their fan base on Twitter, I mean, it is ridiculous. These are some of the most uneducated, unprofessional, like people in the world. And I see it now. I didn't realize how poor of a school was. And then, my head coach, Steve Sarkisian, takes the shot at them too. I mean, there's got to be something going on behind the scenes for all of these SEC coaches to speak out. Even John Summerall, just a slight
that was a good one. Yeah.
It was a good one. But it was just like, I think everybody's getting kind of tired of the Pete Golding routine where he's tampering with players, two, he's just slimy. He's a sleazeball. I think these SEC coaches are getting fed up. I mean, I know Dabo Swinney most definitely is fed up. I just think it's they're just setting themselves up for a poor season this year. I don't see them going better than 8-4, 7-5. I know they got Trinidad coming back, but just the way they're handling everything, playing a quarterback that's already used up all of his eligibility, tampering with players, it just feels wrong to me. I don't like Pete Golding as a head coach. I don't think he's got what it takes. So I would just love to see Ole Miss fail. So they're my nod this week.
100% would love to see Ole Miss fail. Go to hell, Ole Miss. Hail State. The Golden Egg will be coming back down to start Vegas this year.
I do want to say one thing. I think it's kind of funny about the education thing. State's education, like
State definitely,
It's
it is
better.
statistical,
It's-
has a 15% harder acceptance rate. And like, I mean, it's,
I know, but like the state of Mississippi.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But go to
Yeah.
hell, Ole Miss. Those Ole Miss people are so ignorant, dude. I hate them. That'll conclude episode 62 of Swiss Army Sports. This has been Will, Luke, and Chase until Monday or Tuesday when we break down the weekend's action. Have a good night.
Thank you.